baguettes with escargot butter, veggies smothered in rich olive oil, salmon drizzled with a sweet homemade mustard. Those are just a few of the recipes you'll find in Gerti Fuss's new book and memoir, A Chest Full of Hope.
I always wanted to write a book because I wanted to tell our children and grandchildren, all our descendants can come after, where we are from, where the history of our family is from.
And what a life she's had. Born and raised in Germany, Gerti has loved food since she was a little girl. She's worked in restaurants in Australia and Germany before immigrating to Vancouver, where she landed a job with the famous Italian chef, Umberto.
We have the same background, Umberto and me. Okay, he's into cooking and he did the same apprenticeship I did.
Gerti taught cooking classes that were so successful, she decided to add catering to her list of skills.
So I left Umberto and then I started my own business. I started the cooking and catering school. Before I did this, I flew to Germany and I attended a very expensive catering school, and that was the best thing I've ever done.
But it wasn't until her and her husband Carl decided, on a whim, to buy a bed and breakfast on Salt Spring Island that Gerti became one of the most celebrated innkeepers on the West Coast. But it almost didn't happen. You see, they needed a little persuasion.
Carl said, no, let's not go home. Let's go to the Pan Pacific and have a bottle of bubbly. So after 2 bottles of bubbly, he was convinced me, said, okay, let's do it.
Carl restored the 1894 farmhouse himself, and they called it the Old Farmhouse Bed and Breakfast. And over the 16 years that they ran the inn, they had over 20,000 guests, including celebrities, politicians, movie stars, and millionaires.
We were all of a sudden the place to go. We had Richard Chamberlain for a week, we had Candice Bergen, Phil Donahue.
Regular guest, president of Disney Michael Eisner, often brought some interesting characters with him.
One guy came in with Michael Eisner and he says, I need a phone, I need it now, and I need it for 2 hours. I have to make a conference call. So we had an ironing room in the basement. I said, well, in the basement there you're undisturbed. Go in the basement, there's a phone. I gave him some paper and pen. And after 2 hours he came up, everybody was having lunch, and he said, Delta is mine. Delta Airline.
What's amazing about their success is that they did no advertising, and yet they were in 29 magazines worldwide, as well as several travel books. And the secret to their success? Well, they don't really know. But after eating her cooking, I think I have a pretty good idea. This is so unbelievable.
And so easy.
Today, Carl and Gerti are happily retired in North Saanich, where they continue to love to garden and cook. And for this multi-talented woman whose life reads more like a great work of fiction than a true story, it really is all about feeding people.
The orange souffle.
You can get Gerti's book at Tanner's in Sydney or through her website. Enjoying a home-cooked meal with new friends in North Saanich, I'm Karen Elgersma for The Daily.